Now you're warming it. Now you're warming it. Oh, yes.
Anyone who has any opinions that deviate from the left, they are seen as evil and wrong. And there's nothing that I say that is evil or wrong. There's nothing remotely racist or fascist about me. I'm standing up for freedom for everybody.
Finally made it. We're in Birmingham. We're about to attend the DFLA. And I have managed to grab somebody who I have admired for a long time, but I've not managed to have like personal conversations with you.
No, not so
We've
much.
messaged, but because of the ether, it just kind of disappears, and we've not been able to get back to one another. So I was buzzing when I seen you there in your lovely red jacket, as bright as anything, accompanies
like
you.
a sore thumb, don't I?
How are you doing?
I'm good, a bit chilly.
A bit chilly?
A bit chilly, been here for a few hours.
Oh, right, okay. So how was your journey down here? Is that okay?
Pretty wet, to be honest.
Oh, right.
We've got here in about 2.5 hours. 350 miles.
Oh, my word. Right, are you going back tonight?
No, staying tonight.
Oh, so at least you
hotel.
can relax a little bit.
After.
Right.
Really looking forward to today. It's going to be really good, I think.
Oh, what have you got for us there?
You'll like this, mate. You'll like
All right. BRIT girl, because I know you're opinionated.
Am I?
What makes you think that?
What on earth?
Is that your phone going?
Oh, it's my friend Mark. Just let me
It's a nice tune you got there.
a bit of Craig David.
Right. Look at this, guys. Oh, yeah. I don't know if to talk to him and start dancing. Like, what's going on here? Oh, now. Now you're warming my heart, pal.
I should be arriving now.
Right, okay. So who are you here with today then?
I've come down with Kelly, who's one of the admins from the DFLA.
Yes, I spoke to her.
Yeah,
Lovely
she
lady.
lives in my town, so
Right.
we live quite close to each other.
Right.
Which we found out, and so yeah, we go up today together.
Right.
And just basically, I'm not really affiliated with anyone. I'm just myself and BRIT girl, and but I support anyone who stands up against the shit that's happening in Britain. And the lack of morality and the corruption within government and policing and the court system, like Count Dunkula. I mean, it's just the most laughable. I was speaking to one of the police liaison officers this morning. He hadn't even heard of it, and when I told him what had happened,
You're joking.
He was like, I can't believe that that's actually happened. He couldn't believe it. And this was one of the Asian police liaison officers who's walking on the march with us. And I've been chatting to him all morning, really nice guy, but he was completely unaware of what was going on, and he said that's complete abuse of our justice system.
You sure?
And this is coming from one of the police officers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this stuff is going on insidiously in our courts all across the country. People are having their voices taken away, they're having their right to free speech, which we still have.
Oh yeah, love it.
Let's take a picture of this.
Should be done for littering, aye.
Under Article 19 of the Human Rights Act, we still have the right to free speech. The whole world does. And it's being eroded, and we are being silenced and shut up.
No.
And get branded right-wing and fascist. And
Well, of course. We've only got to look at your outfits and think, right, what are we calling them Nazis for? What's going on in this world when we're doing that? It's absolutely ridiculous.
And I have, to be honest, if I didn't have children, I probably would be one of the blissful ignorants who sit there and just live in their little bubble of ignorance and pretend that the world is all rosy. But I can't, in all good conscience, sit back and allow what's happening to Britain happen.
Once you've opened Pandora's box, it's hard to close it,
It
isn't
is
it?
incredibly hard to close it.
You know, and there's a lot of sorrow for anyone who would, once they know, to then go, well, you know what, this is too much for me, I'm just going to get on with my life, go along to get along. How long have you had your channel, BRIT girl?
My channel has been, well, it was taken off for a while, but I've had it for around 9 months now.
Right.
It all came about by accident because of Bill Etheridge, who blocked me for asking why it was far right to stand up for our freedom.
Right.
From that, I launched my first video, and it came out, and it went viral, and that lost me my first Facebook account, so I then put it onto YouTube, and from that, BRIT girl was born.
How do you feel mentally with what you're doing and with all the comments that come in, whether they be positive, negative, and just where you're at mentally with what you're doing, the way it's growing? How do you feel?
To be honest, it was scary at first.
Yep.
I mean, you put yourself out there, and you're opening yourself up to criticism and the hate speech. And I get some most awful messages threatening against my daughter and my family. But to be honest, the people who make threats rarely follow them through.
Yeah.
It's the ones who don't make the threats that you have to worry about. But I would say probably 95% of the messages I get are in support from people who are either too scared to speak out, they're worried about losing their jobs, their houses, their mortgages, the ramifications for their families, and this is what's keeping us silent. This is why people don't speak out. This is why people aren't standing up for liberty and freedom and democracy and our freedom to speak. We have a God-given right to free speech. We cannot think critically and question anything nowadays without somebody accusing us of being far right or racist. I'm not far right, I'm far righteous. I know that what I'm saying is right, I know that what I'm saying is true, and I know what I'm saying is correct.
Oh, what have you got for us there?
You'll like this, mate, you'll like
All right.
Come on, Claire, get in there.
Can we get you in?
I need to be able to tell my children I did not stay silent. Yeah, and that's why we're all out, innit? Yeah. That's what makes average people stand up and go, I'm not taking it anymore. Yeah. Brilliant sign.
Let's talk about the way down. You know, there's some people do some outstanding speeches, you know what I mean? And it means a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And if that makes me far right, in somebody's opinion, then I will wear that badge with honour, because it's only by speaking out that we're ever going to achieve anything. And the thing that annoys me the most is the people who say, well, why don't you talk about this, or why don't you talk about that? I say, my rebuttal to them is, well, why don't you? Why don't you speak out about it? Why don't you make a video? Why don't you voice your
You're not a
opinion?
jukebox.
No, exactly. I don't take requests.
Yeah.
I speak about what I'm passionate about. If you're passionate about something, open your gob and say it. Just everyone has a right to speak. Everyone should. If we all started speaking out, they couldn't silence us all.
You can't.
They can't silence us all.
And if we're all just determined to say, well, if you're going to do me for that, you're going to do another 3, 4, 5,000 people that are doing exactly the same thing, they will have to change. At the moment, they've created such a fear climate that it's easy for them just to pick the odd one. Right, you're the wrong one. Yeah. And then everyone goes, oh. It's like, we need to do it. We need to stand up, because we can see now that the police state is starting to rally round us, circling, as they say.
Yeah.
So it does take that. I mean, how far can you see this going with what you're doing? Can you see because the reason why I said that, you messaged me asking for a collaboration, which I didn't see for a long time after. I read it, replied to it. I then instantly went to your channel, was watching a couple of videos, totally impressed. And then there was one where you were in the car and you were totally pissed off.
Yeah.
You'd had a bad day.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what made me actually reply, because I could see what was going on and I could see how disillusioned you was, and you were kind of angry because you were almost not taking it out on people, but you were being angry, saying, why ain't more people standing up? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Now that was honest and it was true. Tell me your thoughts when you were going through that video, what was going on?
Well, that day I'd lost my 5th Facebook profile.
Right.
And the people say, well, it's just Facebook. Well, the one that I lost,
Yep.
it was an 8-year-old profile. It had irreplaceable pictures of my friends and family on.
Right.
Videos of my daughter that I'll never be able to replace.
Yeah.
They don't even give you the opportunity to take it. It's
To
my
back it up.
intellectual profit.
Of course
That's
it
my
is.
intellectual property that belongs to me. They don't give you the opportunity to take that off you. And they just, anyone who has any opinions that deviate from the left, they are seen as evil and wrong. And there's nothing that I say that is evil or wrong. There's nothing remotely racist or fascist about me. I'm standing up for freedom for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, the grooming gang scandals, it's been going on for 40 years in this country. The police, social services, the government, they have all been aware of what's been happening to our children for 40 years, and they have done nothing. And they expect us to sit there in silence and just accept that they're eroding our government, they're eroding our country, they're eroding our morals, our decency, our beliefs. If you're a white Christian in this country, you are next to nothing. You have no rights, and you cannot say anything that you want to say. You can't voice your opinion, you can't do anything without being labelled as something. If people want to put a label on someone, that's up to you. I'm nothing, I'm just a mum with concerns for my daughter's future. I have lived all over this country. I was born in Bradford. I moved to near Luton. I've seen what happens in these towns. I've seen how it is insidious, and it spreads out and it grows, and it's utterly wrong, and we should not be tolerating a mass abuse of children, because they can call it grooming gangs. It's child abuse on a mass scale that is happening in this country, and it is utterly barbaric, and it's abhorrent, and these children are then going to grow up with mental health problems and issues, and they are going to be left in the gutter and I'm not allowed to talk out about that. I don't think so.
Now you're warming it. Now you're warming it. Oh yes. Look at this. I'm actually, it's the wrong way round yet, but I'll get the other side. I'll get the other side. Make it a lot easier. Look at that. The United contingent. New Zealand. Lee Rigby, rest in peace. Brilliant. What a flag that is. What a flag.